So people ask how I became an artist, but they don't realize how hard yet how easy that is to talk about, but we're about to talk about it in this video. What's up guys, it's your girl Nia, also known as NibaNibea. Welcome to my page if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. I just thought that I would explain how I became an artist, as many people had asked me on my last YouTube page, and I wanted to bring it here specifically designated for my art. So let's get to the video. Honestly, it was a process. I hate when people say, wow, you draw so good. I can rarely draw six figures, and I'm like, well, it's all in the practice. You know, it didn't take me to just one day to finally draw faces and have poster art and keychains and stickers and notebooks and all that stuff. It took me time. In fact, I had first gotten my keychains, my stickers, and my posters, printout posters in 2023. I've been an artist all my life. I've been an artist since I was 6. I just remember having a love for scribbling. Scribbling turned into stick figures turned into heads and 2 to 4 little legs, and you know, drawing dogs and stuff. It was just, you know, relieving to me. I later on got into anime, got into cartoon characters, got into Disney. One thing that I started off with was anime because I loved just the characters I was seeing. I didn't really watch anime. I wasn't allowed to growing up, but you know, culture, because I love their culture. And this is like, I got this shirt from Sheen or Shine or however you pronounce it. Later on, I started going to Cartoon Network because Cartoon Network is tea. It was, and they took all the old school shows down and replaced it with something new, and now I don't watch it anymore. Shame on you, Cartoon Network. One of my favorite shows was Adventure Time. Clarence was one of them, even though it was more of a newer show. And then we move on to regular shows. One of my shows, Amazing World of Gumball, is still one of my shows. And then the Teen Titans Go. And I don't know why people hate on it, but Teen Titans Go is like the best thing that I've ever watched. I'm not gonna lie, because I've never watched Teen Titans like that. I've seen one episode and I'm like, this is too serious for me. I'm more of like a bubbly type of person, but what kept me staying in art and producing art was having art classes. So as soon as I hit middle school, I would always have that one art class that would push me to create art. I had no choice. I had to get a grade. That was one of my pushes to continue art. Then I get into high school, and then we're hitting more of express yourself type thing. And art was also one of my things that I would do in other classes, and people would call on me because they didn't think that I was paying attention. And be like, Nia, so what's the answer to this? And I'm just like, yeah, you know, I was drawing all the time, the girl was drawing all the time. Now when adulthood hit, it was a little bit harder because now I was managing having a job and trying to just navigate this whole life. Then I had kids, and then re-navigation, and then a whole 2-year pause on art. And now I'm like back to that, and I'm happy that I'm back to it because, y'all, I was low-key. Yeah, I was low-key, yeah. This is just a small video on how I became an artist. It's not easy to explain, but it's not hard because it's like, you know, I've been doing this all my life basically, and there's really no steps to becoming an artist. It's just, you just draw and you stay consistent. Just like, you know, you have to stay consistent with something you really want to get to, and sometimes it takes years. But now I can finally say that I have like actually built a portfolio of my own characters and just my own style and stuff, and I am happy about that. Like, I am more of a cartoonist than I am a realistic person or an abstract or painter and stuff. And then on top of that, we add sculpting to it, which I've always loved to do, like clay type things, but back then I was more like, ugh. Now I'm like, I need it because I'm a parent and I have college and I have work and I have all these things that I have to do, and clay is tea for all that stuff. I hope you guys like, subscribe, leave a comment below for more, and thank you guys.